Our final speaker tonight is Elli Reinhard. She's a young woman who's passionate about raising awareness of the complex issues surrounding youth, drug and alcohol addiction and mental illness. As a graduate of the Triple Care Farm back in 2018, Elli brings invaluable lived experience to her role as Sir David Martin Foundation's Youth Ambassador and is also a member of their Youth Advisory Group. Elli is currently in her first year of a forensic science degree and recently won the 2022, was it 2022? 2021. It couldn't be, could it? 2021, wrong glasses, New South Wales Young Achiever Award in the Health and Wellbeing category. So tonight, Elli's going to share her experience in the aftercare program, which offers each young person one-on-one support back in the community for 6 months after they leave the farm. Would you welcome Elli?
I'm 23 and you're looking at a recovering drug addict. As you would know, addiction brought on many scary challenges. And what were mine? Well, when growing up, I was exposed to my mother's addiction and her mental health issues around schizophrenia, which resulted in her being institutionalised. But apart from the fragmented and dysfunctional family dynamic on my mother's side, I was facing issues that are difficult amongst many young people. So, for example, trying to fit in, caving into peer pressure, and also social anxiety, which I still battle with today. So at the age of 14, I started using drugs and alcohol to cope with these difficulties. But by the time I was 17, I was relying heavily on drugs and alcohol to function on a daily. And exactly what did this look like? I couldn't talk to people. I was angry. I remember at times I was on my hands and knees scavenging through the carpet for crystal meth. Anything to numb the strong and destructive feelings that I was facing. But it just got worse. My life was completely unmanageable, which is why I turned to drugs and alcohol for comfort. But once I started, I found it very difficult to come back from that because I didn't feel like my life would amount to anything. Long story short, I hit rock bottom. For me, that was a psychosis. That was very scary. I was desperate. I reached out to a psychologist who referred me to Jarrah House, which is a 4-month rehabilitation program for women of all ages and backgrounds. So that was a bit difficult, having the age gap, not being able to connect with other young people. So they referred me to Triple Care Farm, and Triple Care Farm rescued me. How? There were so many ways. But I feel like the most important part for me was the caring and authentic support. They kept me motivated. I was busy in the rehabilitation sort of program and all the different sections. They just instilled in me a sense of hope, self-discovery, confidence, motivation. And there I met my aftercare worker, Linda. So she formulated a plan of action for when I left Triple Care Farm. So this involves things like accommodation, a day program for when you leave, supports, education. There's a financial aspect. And then I left. I left Triple Care Farm. And what exactly did this feel like? I would describe it as all my stomach constituents just dropping. I remember the last thing I remember is I was literally holding onto the pole because I didn't want to leave. And, you know, leaving was difficult, but it was also that real moment of impact, or the catalyst to, you know, for all the opportunities that opened up for me. Yeah, it was getting back out there into the community and applying all the tools that I learned in the program to the real world. And this was possible because I had learnt these tools at Triple Care Farm to propel myself into action. And I had my sidekick, Linda. So for 6 months, she was my lifeline. She was my counsellor, my life coach, my GPS. So, you know, leaving Triple Care Farm, I struggled with the basics like catching public transport. So I would just call Linda up and she would help me navigate. And to be honest, I don't think that I would be clean and sober today if it wasn't for the aftercare program. It was such a critical time. And today I am studying the Bachelor of Forensic Science. I am an ambassador for Sir Dave Martin Foundation and involved in community and volunteer projects. And I am 5 years off drugs, which is just amazing. Thank you. And I've learned that life without drugs is wonderful and, you know, worth living. So yeah, that's my story of rescue. Sorry, there's more. So you can help rescue addicts like myself. Through your generosity, $250 can provide 2 weeks of aftercare for another young recovering addict like myself. I gotta say, those first 2 weeks are the toughest, and having that opportunity with Linda was an absolute critical time for me. $4,000 tonight will provide the whole 6 months of one-on-one support for that young person to transition safely back into the community. And if we can get to $40,000, this will cover 10 young individuals with 6 months of aftercare, enabling them to, you know, access all the supports that they need to propel themselves into the community. With your support, you can help change lives. Thank you.
Hey.